Hello, everybody. I am SS the Showstopper, and today is the 18th of March 2024. It is scorching. I just got off the road and I said that I'm gonna get a shower, I'm gonna upload this video, and then I start my project. However, I have to do it the other way. I have to do this video and then I shower and then I start the project that I'm working on because the time is so hot. But hey, I was obviously made for the summer, and so this is my time and my chance to shine in my element. You understand? Do not pay attention to my glasses. I love them. I think it represents me. I have nerdy moments, and this is one of them. Okay, and that's just it. I said that I wasn't going to get into much topics anymore. Some months ago, I said that I'm not going to do any more topic when it comes to women or men and cautioning people about relationship, because at the end of the day, people are hell-bent on doing what they want, doing what suits them, and whatever it is that makes them happy. And because of such, I just said that, okay, I'm going to avoid the situation. I'm not going to speak on it. I don't think it's my business. I think whatever it is that a person decides to do, it's up to them. If it makes them very happy, if they get $1 million from it, if they become successful from it, that's totally their choice. Now, if it leads to their demise, that's also their choice because they had made a decision. Now, there is this video that I want you guys to watch. But before I let you watch the small snippet of the video, I think I did a video and I posted it on my TikTok, and I was saying that women need to stay away from men who are in position of power, who are deemed sovereign citizens. I don't quite remember if I posted it on my YouTube channel, but I remember I did it and I posted it on TikTok. And it was in reference to the Joyland Silvera case and stuff like that. And I said that women, if you're dating a guy and he's a sovereign citizen, means that he's in a position where he is deemed above the law or will not be held liable for whatever misconduct or unethical or immoral practice or illegal practice that he is associated with or involved with. Those are not men that you should get yourself involved with. Though the topic of being a sovereign citizen is skewed, though one may not support it and stuff like that, we're not on the argument of that. We're on the argument of whether or not you should date an individual who is in that position of power. And I suggest the only persons who should be dating these type of men are women themselves who are in that position of power, because it will level the playing field. The playing field will basically be leveled. Means if he's liable with something, so will you. If something is brought against you, and you are in a position where you feel the need that law enforcement should be involved, the matter should be taken to court, to whether it be a litigator or whoever the case may be, to solve the situation, the play field will automatically be leveled. And that's where I was cautioning a lot of women, because these guys will not be held responsible or held liable. They will get a slap on the wrist, you understand? A lot of persons also are in position of power, like judges and other politicians. They will protect them, they will defend them, they will see how best they can come to a solution that benefits both parties instead of something that is done the right way, which would be the legal way. And so these are situations that I always caution women. I think that was the last reference that I did. But there's also this video that I want you to watch, okay?
Of an old man I used to date. I was in a relationship with him for 11 years. He would never marry me, right? But whenever my bills were due, I would tell him he would give me just enough. He had a whole lot of money. He would give me just enough. Rent due, $1,200. He'd give me $1,200, not 1 cent over, because he knew that every month the rent was due, that I would have to come back to him. He wouldn't give me $100,000 and say, here, baby, bump that, go buy you a house and start you a business, because then he felt like I wouldn't need him.
Yes, and that is female Angela Stanton, that I've made reference to her in more than one videos, I think. I've spoken about the Angela Stanton American, a lot of controversies have been around her where she was incarcerated, she went to prison, did some time for illegal activities and stuff like that. However, the reason I pulled that reference is obviously what she's saying, that she was speaking to a guy, she was dating this guy for many years. Many years she was in a relationship with him. And this guy was obviously making bank. He was making a lot of money according to her. And whatever it is that her bills are due, he'll give her just about enough to let her get by. You understand? And in doing so, in doing so, it's a sign that the person is trying to manipulate, trying to control, because he know that the following day, the following week, the following month, you will be back. So it's a way to control an individual. It's a way to limit a person's motion, limit their options, not allowing them to have any form of autonomy. Now we get the argument that you're a woman, you're supposed to be working, you're supposed to be having your own independence, but every woman simply will not be able to earn a sustainable income. You can try, you can attempt it, but it's just not possible for every woman or every man. And that is a harsh reality that we have to accept. However, it doesn't negate the fact that there are persons out there who are very successful, and it goes for men too. I am going to do a video itself on men and cautioning them, but it goes for women. There are lots of men who are very powerful and also very successful, but at the end of the day, if they meet you and they're dating you, they give you just enough to get by for the week, for the fortnight, for them. That's just it, and they will not go a dollar over. Now, when they do these kind of things, you can't just come to them. In many cases, you can't just come to them and say, I'm uncomfortable with this and I don't want to see you anymore and I don't want this and I don't want that. It sounds good. It will seem like they don't care at first, but just give them a little time. You will see them come around. These guys, if you play the game like them, you will see them come around. At first, they will say, I don't care. You do whatever it is, because he tells himself that you will have to come back. But when he really realizes that you're adamant and serious, that's the time he come knocking on your door, and they come deciding to do what they were supposed to do all along. We're not saying that their intentions will be true or their intentions are pure after. However, that's what they're going to do to reel you back in, to get you under their spell, under their control. And so they promise you wondrous things of things that they were supposed to do from the get-go. That is the time that you actually supposed to say no. That's the time you should actually walk away. That's the time you should actually go no contact with this individual. Because what they are doing now is showing you who they actually are. All the things that you believe that allowed you to walk away or led you to walk away from this person is what you should stick by, because they coming around now, they realize that you are independent. They realize that there's some autonomy. They start to think all sorts of things, because you haven't called them, you don't make any form of contact, you don't ask them for anything anymore. So they're starting to say, oh, she found someone else like me. She found better than me. She found someone that's satisfying her, someone that's giving her what she needs, something else I've worked out better for her. Let me go to see what's over there. And how am I? Because that feeling, the feeling of wanting, the feeling of being desired as a man kicks in, and he lacks it now because the heavy attention that he was getting from you, he's no longer getting it. And just getting a random girl to automatically give him, it's not so easy. Her attention or her span or tolerance may be even way shorter than the person who is now with, which is you. And so he doesn't want to take that risk of saying that, okay, I'm going to meet another girl and I'm going to do her the same thing, because she might catch up from very early and decide that, listen, I don't want to have anything to do with this. Or they take what they have and they move on, or they have someone else. There are multiple other guys that she's talking to. So he doesn't want to take that risk. He found someone that's virtuous and someone who has some sort of purity in her, but she's poor. She's going through some things, and he believed that that's the time that he should chip in the power that he has, and he should use it to his advantage rather than really and genuinely assisting you. You understand? And this is the reason I say that there are a lot of guys out there also who are very successful, and they do these things to women. There are also men out there who do not have education. They don't have education, but luck would have it that opportunities have come their way to make them very successful in life, and they're rubbing shoulders with powerful people. They will also meet a girl who is educated and they know is not rich, not necessarily independent, not having much going for her, but she's also very educated, and they will do everything in their power to belittle you. They will be there for you. They will be around, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing, just a little to get by, because they want to keep you under their control. And also, when the opportunity to present itself to belittle you and make you feel bad, that's what they will do. There's a lot of game out there, that men play. And if you're a woman who is not smart on the game and realize that a game is being played, whether you like it or not, you will fall for the same mess all the time. Now, my argument is not for every guy. My argument is not for the what do you bring to the table type of men. My argument is not for the I'm gonna build with a woman or want a woman to build with type of guy. My argument is also not for the 9 to 5 guy. This particular conversation. So guys, do not incorporate yourself in every one of these situations and decide that you're going to automatically stick up for a man or you're going to attack a woman. And so, because everything is not for everybody, this particular conversation is for men who are deemed successful or deemed very rich, and they have a female in their life that they're dating, that they're somewhat in a relationship, informal with, and these are the things that they do. Now, does that guy love you as a woman? No, he doesn't. Does he have some respect for you? Not really. Because if you respect a person, you're going to honor their wishes. You're going to honor their desire. If you care about a person, you want to see the better version of themselves. You also willing to take, because it's a risk that you're taking. You also want to take the risk to ensure that this person is okay. You understand? So let's say you're going to say, okay, I have 100 million on me. I'm doing 200 mil. I'm going up. I'm doing well. 2 or 3 million US you have as a guy, and you're doing well, and you meet a female that's working 9 to 5 or a female that's working somewhere, probably a supervisor in a job, probably doing something. But she's not making bank. She's not making bank. You see her, she's beautiful to you. She's very attractive, and you decide that, okay, you want to talk to her. And so you decide that you're going to give her a certain amount to keep her going or to keep her afloat for the week. And because of that, she believes strongly that here lies a guy that was very successful. I like the type of guy that my mother or father told me to talk to, or my mother, because a lot of women, they encourage this for their daughters, tell you to talk to this type of guy. But when you get into it and you sit down and study his behavioral pattern, you really realize that he doesn't have your best interest at heart. He's doing things for his advantage. You understand? And the way how he do it, he can do it with several other females. You may very well not be the only female that he's doing it to. And so these are things that you have to take into consideration and realize that if this guy loves you, will he honor your goals? Will he honor your wishes? Because he has the resource to do so. Now, a lot of men out there will say, oh, don't give her this amount, keep her coming, put her on a leash. That's a game that you're inspiring other men to do and encouraging other men to do. That's also the game that the woman is picking up on. Now, when she picks up on this game, what do you think she's going to do? She's going to start move with dexterity. She's going to move on to someone else who she believes have more and can provide for her. And if that person isn't, what she's going to do is develop what? A lower tolerance for the behavior. So when she develops a lower tolerance, she's going to do something. Number one, she's going to dump you. Number two, if you don't dump her, she's going to dump you. Number two, she's going to move on with someone else. Number three, she's going to have a smaller attention span or a smaller level of tolerance for that person. Now, when she does and she comes out and say, okay, this is where my goal is at. Once she see that there's no movement, she's going to put herself on a time limit. She's just not going to tell you. She's going to put herself on a time limit. And once she see that it's not coming forward, then she's going to move on. But then you may have very well be infatuated with her, caught up with her, so you don't know what's happening. She's not going to tell you. You know why? Because women have studied the game. Women have studied the game that you guys are playing, and because they have studied the game, they understand it. You see what I'm saying? Now look at this scenario. Someone sent me a video this morning. Early this morning, the person sent me the video and I was watching it and I was looking at it and I'm like, this is a guy I support and stuff like that because I subscribe to his channel. Now, he was speaking on the situation of the female in Mandeville who was working with this guy in Mandeville. They were working at the same facility and she was having an affair with him because the guy was married and stuff like that and he had a child. So she was having an affair with him and she moved on to someone else. He didn't like it. He confronted her about it in the office and, she said, he said that you don't like the guy. She's kissing the guy in front of him and she said to him, she made a snotty comment about, you're lucky he didn't kiss me on the mouth or something like that. And he got upset and he pulled out a gun and he fired a couple shots, 5 shots in her face. And, she died on the spot. She was pronounced then. And so here lies this vlogger who was saying that he understands and he support the guy who would have given the guy a lighter sentence because she was provoking him. Here lies a guy who was going above and beyond to take care of you, to prove to you that he cared, he loved you. He built a 2-bedroom house for her. He also took out, I think, loan for her. These are the things that he did. Pay partner, something like that. He took out a loan or she got some money from him and she lent it to the guy that she was dating, some $200,000, something like that. And the guy, they said, bought a car. So it looks like he was looking some makeup money to purchase a vehicle. That's the other guy that she moved on with. And she gave the guy the money and stuff like that. And he, seeing all of these kind of things, assisted her so much when she needed this, when she needed that. Go as far as building a house. And that's the greatest asset. A house and a land are the greatest asset on earth. And she did all of that. He did all of that, I'm sorry, for her. And, his cup was overflow. According to the reports, he had too much. He couldn't take it anymore. And so he fired five shots in her. So I think there were so many vloggers who had reported the story. And every single one of them, with the exception of Sir P, was the one who was showing some sort of empathy towards the female and was cautioning men out there. Every single other vlogger was supporting the guy killing the girl and was saying that stop play with man, stop take their things if you don't want them, stop doing this, stop doing that. Nobody looked into the situation and say that this guy was a married man. He already legally committed to someone and he was doing the same thing to his wife that the girl he was seeing was doing to him. So accountability went out the window, responsibility went out the window, and you suddenly see yourself as a victim. Now, ladies, these are the games that men play with you. They are never held accountable. They don't believe in personal accountability, and you cannot convince them of it. Now, when you meet someone like that, that's called a grade A narcissist. That's also called a master manipulator. Those are men you don't walk away from. Those are men you don't stay away from. Those are men you run away from. You watch their behavioral pattern. Now, this guy had decided that he's going to do a lot of things for her, send her back to school, build house, do this, do that. You were doing it while you guys were what? Together. You loved her that much and you took care of her that much. Is there a reason you didn't divorce your wife then and make a decision to move on? No, because you wanted to have your cake and eat it. You wanted to have a wife that's loyal, that's decent, that's caring, that's loving, that honors her vagina and leave it for you alone. And you know that she's right there like a bookmark or a benchmark and will not move. And at the same time, you have another female out there, young, hot, sexy, very attractive. She's up and all about. You can go to party with her. You can take her out. You take care of her. And she is solely loyal to you and will stay loyal to you. Hold your vagina no matter how she look or who is seeking her out or lusting after her or interested in her. She's a side girl and she should stay loyal to you just the same. And if luck would have it that you meet someone else, which is a third person, you will do the same thing. So this is a guy who wanted to have his cake and eat it. He wanted the best of both worlds. He was playing his wife. He was dishonoring his vows. And these are the things that he chose to do. No, was he right for going out and doing all of these kind of things with the female? Well, if you're in a relationship with a woman and you make it a decision that you're going to do things for her together, you are doing it because you what? Because you love and care about the person. Now, does that mean that she should stay loyal to you all day for the rest of your life? I don't think so, because human beings are not robots. And number two, you are already legally and morally committed to someone else. So what say you in this situation, and how do you expect to traverse it with the side girl, knowing that you are already married and decide that, listen, I am going to stay loyal to him no matter what, because these are the valuables that he handed me in my life. And because of such, I am going to stay loyal even when he decides to move on with someone else and he's still obligated legally to someone else. This is what I'm going to do. The average person is not thinking like that. The average person is not thinking like that. People are going to ask the question, if you love this girl so much, why you didn't divorce your wife and move on with her? You choose to take her life because she moved on. No, it's a possibility that he could have been controlling also, because these are the pattern of behavior of men who are controlling. He could have been controlling, he could have been abusive. Nobody knows. Nobody came forward to say what the dynamic was between him and the female, why she decided to move on with someone else and do it so blatantly in front of him. There are so many things that could possibly come into play, but the dead can't tell no tales, because what? She's dead and gone. She got 5 bullets to her face, and every man out there believes that she deserves it. But when I look at I don't even need to look at the statistics. When I look at reality, every woman out there have been hurt by a man. Every woman out there, every woman who have a child, every woman who was once married, every woman who was a girlfriend, who was a baby mama, whatever the case may be, they have been hurt by a man. Now, what is the statistics of women going out and killing men because they were hurt by a man versus men killing women because a woman hurt them? Someone in this situation have more emotional intelligence. Someone in this situation has a little to no emotional intelligence. And it's very obvious. You don't know to deal with conflict resolution. You cannot handle rejection. There is something seriously wrong with the men in the society. And if you don't see that there's something wrong with them, that means that something is clearly wrong with you also. Because you want a world wherein you can have as much women as possible and every single one of them should be loyal to you no matter what. But you are supposed to sleep around with every one of them, and you should understand that because you got gains in life or vanity, it means that you owe him your vagina forever and ever and ever. And like I said, a lot of guys refuse to accept the fact that this is 2024 and not 1720. And so they miss their bus stop. They need to go to a bus stop and find a bus that takes them back to 1720. However, it's not going to be very pretty for you because people looking like you were not treated like human beings. And so you will basically get a taste of your own medicine. The foolishness that you sit and think about when you burn your ganja, or when you do this, or when you're around your friends, or the rum bar, or all these kind of things. The foolishness that you sit down and think about, it will come playing back into your mind. You understand? You need to understand that a woman is not your property. She's not a sheep, goat, cow, fowl, whatever the case may be. A woman is a human being. A woman is a human being. And I do not represent all women. Obviously, I do not cater for all women either because I've said it so many times. A lot of you women are very disgusting and have that Jezebel spirit on you. And because of such, I stay away from a lot of you guys. I don't want you in my space. I don't want you on my channel. I don't want you on my circle. You are not a part of my energy. And I simply will not exchange words or have any form of verbal intercourse with any women who are like that. And I said that with no apology. No, but with that being said, there are women out there who are loyal to a man who will handle her heart, will handle loyalty, and he basically defecate on it. And that's just the harsh reality. And there are way too many women in society, for those who have survived it, who are around, who can attest to having such an experience. Now, with that being said, as a man, you should understand yourself. Now, I cannot come and say you should understand yourself and leave it at that. I can honestly say that we can understand what hurt is like because we have been hurt. We can understand what rejection is like because we have been rejected. We cry about it. We move on. We pick up the pieces. Now, you're a man and you're saying that you cannot hold this and you cannot hold that. Yes, you can. You have to. You have to, because if you don't, you have to realize that not only will you face the consequences of going to prison, you can also very well be putting a hit on your back because other women out there have relatives and they will also exercise revenge. You understand? So these are things that you have to take into consideration. If you cannot handle a relationship and handle what it is like when it ends, you probably need to stay single and leave women alone. Or now is the perfect time to be a homosexual, like I said, especially for black men. You can just come out of the closet and leave women alone because a lot of you really are in the closet and you really need to come out. So this is a caution that I have to say to a lot of women. It's important for you to know yourself and watch behavioral patterns. Don't watch the I love yous and the this and the that. Watch the behavioral pattern. If he's giving you a gift or taking care of you or doing something for you, watch his behavioral pattern and the things that he said to you. He can give you something nice now and tomorrow he's calling you bitch, dog, this, that, and the third. And you think that, okay, we're going to kiss and make up. It's toxicity. It's not healthy. It's going to lead to something else. It's lead to something else. And I was looking at it. I've been doing this and I've been researching on all the vloggers that reported on it, and every last one of them were supporting the man and was saying that he was right to kill the woman. Now let me tell you something. A killer is a killer. He was not provoked to the point where he had to kill her. He was not. What he chose to do was to kill her because he's a killer. He would have killed his wife just the same. He would have killed his wife if his wife was an adamant woman that she want back her marriage and she want this female out of it, or she was going to take him to court for this, for that, and all of that. He would have taken out his wife. If his child is in the picture and his child provoke him, he would have killed the child also because he's a killer. And that's what he does. Everywhere in the world you go, someone will provoke you. Someone will provoke you. And if you decide to buy love, it cannot be bought. It cannot be bought. You can buy time. You can buy yourself some time, whether you're sick, whether you're seeking the company of someone else. You can buy yourself time. But there's something called time up. Time up. Time up. You understand? And you have to accept it when time is up. When time is up, you have to accept it, that it's just your moment. The person no longer wants to be with you. They have seen certain patterns. They probably want to move on with their life and stuff like that. And you can't say, oh yeah, you send her to school. You do this, you do that, you do that. And so she owes you her life. It doesn't mean that you are a good guy because you sent a girl to school, because you build a house for her. You can very well be an abusive person, a controlling individual. And because of such, it's going to create an unease for a well-thinking woman. It will create an unease. But that's all I have to say about it. There's no conclusion that I'm going to give because there's no Morse code that you can go through to traverse having a successful relationship. The only thing I can say, which I have said before, is look out the benchmark ideas, the benchmark advice that I can give is to look out for behavioral pattern. Look out for a behavioral pattern because it's a matter of moments or time enough when you're talking to a guy. He will begin to unravel and show you who he really is. So watch out for that and save yourself, balance your self-esteem, your integrity, all of these kind of things, and watch out for it. But all I can say is that I will do another video with the guy part, cautioning them, and I will try to balance it out as much as possible, okay? So that's all I have to say about it now. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day and may God bless you. Bye-bye.